What is up, world? Good morning, grand rising, Ryan, and all that good stuff. I hope everybody is having a great week. It was a pretty amazing sunset last night. And I also realized this YouTube channel is dead. But that's okay. Some people can visualize what they want to build. I have trouble visualizing shit. The future. I do wish I had a better camera though. On the phone, it doesn't do this scenery justice at all. A thumbs up. Much appreciated. I'm still trying to get some coffee in me to wake up. That's one thing. So being like 2 weeks off of maintenance, my sleep schedule is so messed up. What's up, Chicago West? Long time no see. Good morning. Hope all is good with you. Hope you're having a good week. It's supposed to be hot today in Massachusetts. But I got an ocean right in front of me to jump into. But yeah, my sleep schedule's been all screwed up. Like there's a lot of things about getting off of opiates that a lot of people don't talk about. Absolutely. Hold up, let me take you all out of the phone holder real quick. We'll do a little panoramic screen. I think we got boats that way. I think the sun's going to come up right about there. And there's a whole bunch of boats over there. It's crazy up here. I'm like so out of my element with the money wise. Like it's bougie. Not going to lie. I don't know. I just don't really put as much value on material things that people do. I used to. Where am I? This is Newburyport that I'm in right now. I'm not staying here. I just happen to be here to watch a sunrise. I'm staying in the area, but not specifically Newburyport. The Plum Island isn't far from here, and that was just on the news. I guess there's been a lot of partying going on the beach, and people are leaving their trash on the beach. So some girl went there, went to the beach in the morning after one of these parties and saw all the trash, recorded a video of all the trash, contacted the harbor master and the town, and was like questioning about what's going on with all the trash. And apparently they didn't want anything to do with it, so she posted it on social media, TikTok or whatever, and it went viral. So the Channel 7 News was covering the story. Like, I've been doing a lot of freshwater fishing, not ocean fishing this year, and every place I go, there's trash everywhere. People leave their bait containers, like the containers that worms come in and stuff. They leave them everywhere. It's crazy. So I try to keep trash bags in my truck, and then when I'm like done fishing, I'll on the way out after fishing, I'll pick up like loose line, any trash that's on the ground and stuff, just trying to do a little bit of good. Yeah, coffee start. I'm like halfway through my first cup of coffee, so good to see you though. Ms. Only Hope is in prayer. I was getting my coffee ready this morning when you were live. And if you had been still live when I got to this little sunrise spot, I was gonna join you, but that's okay. Next time. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the younger, and I'm showing my age right here, right? But I just think it's the younger generation of like not really giving a fuck, not taking personal accountability. And I could be wrong. I mean, hindsight's always 2020. And I mean, I used to be a cigarette smoker and I'd throw cigarette butts out the window all the time, right? And that's the same thing as littering. So I'm not trying to throw stones in a glass house, but I'm just saying, like, it's good to clean up after yourself. Trash wise, if you're going to be fishing and stuff. It's supposed to be hot as fuck out today, though. Excuse my French. Like 100 degrees with the humidity and everything. It's not so much the heat, it's the humidity that gets me. I'll take the heat over the cold any day, though. Yeah, well, picking up other people's trash isn't like a habit that I want to make, but like if I'm out fishing and I see trash on the ground, I'd rather have a trash bag to be able to put the stuff in to bring it back and make it like put it in the dump. That's another thing. Like back where my mother's house is, there's a fishing spot that I go to, and it's right across the street from the one of the waste stations where they bring all the trash. So there's trash everywhere in the road, and it ends up in the water. It's crazy. I like winter too, but I don't like the cold weather. My hands get super cold now and numb, and my fingers are all jacked up from y'all already know. My extremities. But I feel like my circulation is getting a little bit better over time. There was just a lot of damage done that I'm dealing with the repercussions from right now. that like I had no intention of even dealing with. It's cold and dark like you. Hey, we all have a cold and dark side, I think. Here comes the sun. But like so I had a consultation to get my teeth fixed, right? And I'm going to UMass, Boston University School of Dentistry, and they literally quoted me at a cost of a ballpark cost of $50,000 out of pocket for my teeth. I'm like, that's crazy. So to go along with that, you have to put down 25% up front of whatever the cost is going to be, and then you have 2 years to pay off the remaining balance. Like, I can't pay that money off in 2 years. Y'all are crazy. So I'm shopping around for other places. I need to finance longer than 2 years. But it's like that's all repercussions from my self-destructive behavior that I did for so many years. But here I am trying to deal with it. But I feel like until I get my teeth fixed, I'm not going to be given the time of day by anyone. Because unfortunately, we live in a world where people judge books by their covers. People take a first impression, and that's their perception of that person, whoever's first perception they had of. I don't make good first impressions. I know that, and I don't really care. If someone wants to base their opinion on someone after a first impression, then I don't think that I need to give them the time of day. But that's just me. I'm still figuring this shit out as I go. Yup. That's what was suggested to me when I told someone else that it was fucking $50,000. They were like, it was actually my barber. When I go to the barber shop, the kid that cuts my hair, well, the guy that cuts my hair is a personal friend. So I was chatting with him about what I got going on and shit. And he's like, bro, you should go to like fucking Mexico. He's another one who has to have some teeth fixed, not to the extent of mine, but we all lived that crazy wild life thinking there were going to be no consequences for our, well, naivety of the consequences of our actions, I think. But I've also heard horror stories of people going out of country to get medical procedures and dental work done and stuff like that. So I don't want to be a statistic of that. It's already getting humid. This is wild. And then other than the issues, not even issues, but other than the whole dental journey, I'm starting to have a couple little issues with the truck. A couple little funky little noises coming from the engine, so I'm going to have to address those pretty soon. I think it's a lifter, which means that it's going to be expensive engine work. Yeah. Show me the money tree and I'll be happy, for real. I don't know. I have a weird perception of money. Like money, I don't put the type of value on money that other people do because of the time that I spent. Just whatever money was brought in was going right back out. So it's like I don't put value like other people do on money because it's not something that I've ever been able to hold on to. Yes, I did just get this truck, but it has almost 180,000 miles on it. I bought it with 170,000. That's all I could really afford. Actually, it had like 165. I mean, it all looks nice and everything, but the engine is like making some noises, so that ain't cool. And it's a diesel, and diesel's over $5 a gallon right now. And I still have about $20,000 to pay this truck off too, so little bit by bit. And I think, in my opinion, it's just all lessons. I'm being taught patience because I lived a life of instant gratification for a long fucking time. Yes, I did. 28,000, I think, or $30,000 for a truck with 165,000 miles or whatever it was. Yeah. Yep, I did. And I had to finance it too. It's a 2020. When I was shopping, I I knew I had like 4 or 5 grand saved up. And that used to buy you a truck. Like you could buy a truck, a vehicle, whatever, outright for even less than that. Not no more. The cheapest vehicles that I was finding were like vehicles, gas trucks that had maybe the same amount of miles, 150, 160,000. They wanted 10 grand for them. So I kind of let the dealership suck me into get me into a diesel truck, and was sold on the fact that diesels last longer. It'll last me another 100,000 miles, whatever. But we'll see. I had more money, I would have gone down south and bought a vehicle from down south. I mean, you know how vehicles go up here in the Northeast, they all rust out very quickly, so. We live in the Rust Belt up here. What year? That's wild. So I had to do a concrete slab recently, and we had to borrow a mixer from a guy who had basically he's an older gentleman. His wife just passed away recently, and he had an F-250, but I guess he's trading it in on Friday. He's supposed to be getting a brand new one, 2026. I don't know what he paid, but it was probably way more than 8 grand. 2018 had 100,000 miles on it. I would have been all over that. Good for him. It was my own fault that I ended up in this situation with my truck though, because I waited till the last minute. If you remember correctly, my old truck, the red one, wouldn't pass inspection because of all the rot on it and shit that I had going on with it, with the frame being rusted out. So I just let my registration, I let the inspection sticker lapsed, and then I waited until my registration was going to expire and I would have to renew it, and then I traded the truck in. But I was waiting until the very last minute to come up with as much money as I possibly could. Yeah, I don't have $8,000 to spend right now. I have like maybe $2,000 in my bank account, and that's covering my truck bills till the end of the year. I almost went and visited Tommy's Mattress the other day. I was in that area, but it had rained the night before and I didn't want to get stuck again. I got pictures from when I got that truck stuck a bunch of times too. I think I got like $1,000 for a trade, not even $800 for a trade in on that. I like that truck too, though. I mean, when I got it, it had 80,000 miles on it. I forget how much I paid, but my payments were, I had to finance that too. My payments weren't expensive at all, though. Tommy's Mattress is a national landmark. Everyone knows where that mattress is. That's funny. It's funny though, because that path, or I should say little off-road area, that used to be a cut through that I would go to, that I would use to get from the bar to walk back home. Like otherwise you have to go up over this huge hill. And I used to hate going up over that hill when I was drunk. So I would use that little path as a cut through. That's how I knew it was there. There was literally one night that I was trying to cut through there and it was all flooded. I ended up like taking my shoes and socks off and just waded through the water. Eventually I was up to my knees in water and had to turn around. What's up, Cactus Fingers? Rise and shine. Oh shoot, we got a couple little ducks. Oh, you guys can see them. Couple little ducks at the bottom of the screen. Dolly, you have a great morning as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Glad you all enjoyed the sunrise in the chat. I'll have to post a few pictures from last night because I was watching the sun set and had a couple I figured out on my phone I have a camera option where you can do like panoramic pictures where you start at like one side of the frame and then you can pan to the side and it'll take like a super wide picture. So I was messing around with that with the sunset last night. It came out pretty, a few of the pictures came out pretty good. I don't know. I just want this freaking pause to be over. Post-acute withdrawal symptoms. It's crazy. It comes in waves. Like, for the most part, I feel good, but like there'll be a couple hours throughout the day where it's just like instant feelings of withdrawal. And at that time is when I really want to like just make it all go away, right? But eventually it subsides. It is the worst. That's why I didn't get clean for so long, because I didn't want to have to go through the hell that I knew was coming. At times, I still don't know if I want to be clean. But I went through 2.5 years of methadone treatment, so I'm finally off of that. I don't know. I just got to stick it out, I guess. Chicago West, you're right. But in my addict mind, I realized that if I could place that resilience towards a good thing instead of being resilient and being able to maintain an addiction and not be sick for freaking years on end and just continue maintaining that madness, if I could maintain some sort of a positive, put that resilience towards like bettering myself instead of being a derelict and destroying myself, anything would be possible. But it's like sitting in that state of mind for as long as I did of self-destruction just wasn't good. And now it's like trying to break that cycle, break out of that cycle. Like, I thought I had it once I got out of got clean off of using and was on methadone and stuff, but I guess it's just going to be a lifetime of tests. And it's pretty easy to look back and see that like my drug of choice isn't even available on this earth well, it is probably somewhere else, but not in the United States. Came a long way from the late 90s, early 2000s street addicts compared to what's going on the streets now with people like just passed out on the street, comatose on the street, I should say. It's horrible. Time is it? I gotta get started with my day shortly. Yeah, I have 179,933 miles on this truck. How long have you not drank, Chicago? Because for real, that's like where I want to not necessarily slip up, but what I wouldn't mind going back to. 6 months, good for you. I've thought about having a drink, like just Jim and Ginger keeps coming in my fucking mind, like a Jim Beam and ginger ale. That used to, like, it was either that or Jack and Coke, but I don't want to do Coca-Cola. So it's like that. But somehow I always continue to make it another day without drinking. So But that's the whole insanity of it, is that even knowing what destruction is going to come, that we still go back to it. It's crazy. I know for myself, I'd rather self-sabotage than have the destruction come upon me without being in control. So I think that's where a lot of the self-sabotaging comes from. It's like a self trying to control the situation. I mean, alcohol wasn't even it was my issue early on, but once I had my accident and broke my pelvis and my back and everything, I just switched one thing for another, and then eventually combined everything all together. So yeah, I hear you on that one. And honestly, through this whole journey, I've came to the understanding that it's not the alcohol or drugs that are the problem. It's the behavior that the alcohol and drugs brings out after a certain amount of time. It doesn't happen right away. It takes time. But like I was trying to explain to one of my family members about what Melanie's Law is. Because I've had my first DUI, I was a minor. My second DUI was my early 20s. And Melanie's Law, so after 10 years, you used to basically, the courts and registry wouldn't look at your DUIs in Massachusetts. Melanie's Law made the punishments harsher for repeat people that had repeat DUIs, and then also not taking the breathalyzer test. There were harsher penalties for that. So it's like if you had a DUI 35 years ago, they'll look back at that as your first, and then even though you've been maybe staying out of trouble for that 35 years, it doesn't matter. It's crazy. But it's also incentive for people that have had prior DUIs to not drink and drive. And there's really no excuse for drinking and driving in this day and age with like Uber and Lyft and all those ride sharing services. Like back in the day when I got my first couple DUIs, there were taxi cabs and they stopped running at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. We used to have to make sure we had a call in. If we were taking a taxi, we'd have to have a call into the taxi company like an hour before last call. Recently, is that what made you stop? I got two. Well, not recently. I mean, my most recent one was probably over 15 years ago. But looking back in hindsight, I could have had so many more. I remember one night coming back from wherever I was coming back from, getting pulled over and being sloshed, thinking that I'm getting arrested right then and there. Like I had a 40 ounce on the floor next to me and shit. The cop just let me go. Literally, it was wild. I can't comprehend how it happened, but it happened. And this was years, like I'm talking over 15 years ago. Like I was in my early 20s. Yeah, it doesn't have to make sense. You just made it make enough sense with that sentence, but it's almost like the whole self-destruction thing where we do it on purpose, but God has a bigger play. Like, I don't know, maybe to put it into perspective, I'm a Christian, and I think that God does things, acts upon our life in certain ways that need to get us to the right place where we need to be. You were triple the legal. I don't remember what my breathalyzer limit was, what my breathalyzer level was when I took it. But I do know that at the height of my drinking, I was drinking probably about 14 to 15 beers on a Friday, Saturday night, along with a bunch of shots. Like, and then there were times when I would wake up, have a Bloody Mary, and continue the day with vodka. Like, it was wild. All right, I think I've stared at the sun long enough, though. Chicago West, good chatting with you. Stay out of trouble. If you booze, you lose. No, not really. If you are going to drink, though, just be smart about it. So real quick, what I did last time I really heavily drank was it was Christmas party from work that extended into the evening. We started during the day, it went into the night. We ended up getting an 8-ball of Coke, but I made a plan early on that I was not going to be driving that night, and made sure that I had like transportation that was not going to get me unalived. So thank you for praying for my come up. I'm trying. It's just slow going. I feel like I'm a fucking turtle at times. All in due time. I just need to find me a sugar mama that's a dentist that can fix my teeth. That's all I'm asking for. Nah, I'm just kidding. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Have a blessed day. Stay cool. Stay frosty. And watch your six. Peace.